Ladies and gentlemen, we are approaching our station at the entrance to Main Street, USA, gateway to the 7 theme lands of the Magic Kingdom. Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
Hello and welcome back to Behind the Dreams, coming from Chester and Hester's live here. If people watch the video, that's my Zoom background. But we are here. I am Jordan. I have Jack with me as always.
Yeah, hello. I'm excited for this episode. We got a bunch of cool stuff to talk about.
You should be very excited about this episode because you're the one that came up with it. So I would hope
True.
that you I would hope you're really pumped for this. I am excited for this as well. So what we have first, just kind of do a rundown here, is they released what panels are what days for D23. So we'll kind of cover that, even though it's 3 months out. Just kind of just talk a bit, maybe expectations from some of these things. Then we promised this last time, but we've kind of had a lot of stuff going on, so we haven't been back lately. We recorded the last episode before Jack went on vacation. Then I had a lot of stuff going on with my dog Oscar, who had surgery, so that was a stressful time to be recording the 25 podcasts I do. So some of them fell. Some of those took a little bit of a backseat, and then so now we're all back. Little bit of a break, but then we're going to talk Rescue Rangers, which is what we promised last time, that we'd do a little bit of Rescue Ranger reaction from Disney Plus, and then Jack's idea here that he came to me with was a dream Disney vacation, like where you're going to stay, right? How many days it is, what you're doing on the trip, all that good stuff is what we'll be highlighting. And since he has all the notes, I'll let him go first, and then I'll just kind of leech off of that from there. But so let's start with D23, shall we? So this is going to be in Anaheim again, I guess. I think it's where it always is now.
Yep.
Which is a shame. It'd be cool if they did, kind of like Star Wars Celebration sometimes would balance between Orlando and Anaheim, and I feel like D23 should do that as well, because you could have people at the Disney World Park as well. I don't know, it just seems to make sense, but Bob doesn't make sense, right? Bob wants to make dollars, and that's all he cares about.
I think it makes a lot of sense actually to hold it in Anaheim, because one of the first things that's going to kick off the D23 Expo is going to be a 100th anniversary celebration of Disney as a company, because it kind of makes sense, have it.
Yeah, but I mean, like other years, right? Like
other years,
like next year
other
could
years,
be
sure.
Orlando. Like we don't have to keep it in Anaheim.
That's fair, but they also have a hall there called the D23 Hall. So well, it's kind of stuck.
I'm pretty sure they would just make that D23 Hall in Orlando too. Like, I don't think it's a real hall name, because this is just the Anaheim Convention Center, I believe.
I think so, but the article that I have says that, but
yeah, it has parentheses that I have.
Okay, we might be looking at different articles. That's fine.
Yeah, so here it is. Okay, here I found it. All right, it's parentheses, not parentheses, quotation marks, Hall D23, a 6,900 nice seat venue located in Hall D of the Anaheim Convention Center. So
I see. Okay.
I'm sure there's a Hall D in Orlando.
See, this article needs to be better at that. They don't have the quotation marks. That's misleading. I don't know.
Well, that's what you get from the official D23.com website, which is what I'm
Okay. I'm not on that. I'm on a different website. That's my mistake then. I
Shame
see.
them. What is it? Who is it? Who are you
It's
on?
Walt Disney World News Today.
Oh, that's why. That's why. They're awful. Okay, so Friday,
Wow.
Friday, September 9th is when it kicks off. It's called Disney 100. Friday, September 9th at 10:30 a.m. Pacific. So you're looking at, what is that, 1:30 Eastern time and
12:30 Central.
12:30 Central. Nobody really cares about Central time.
Wow. I kind of care about it because, that's kind of where I am, but it's fine.
I know, but I feel like nobody ever mentioned Central time except for like this is on 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock Central or whatever. But I feel like they don't do that a lot on online events now. Like online events,
really.
I feel like will say Eastern or Pacific. And they let the Mountain Time and Central Time people just do the math after that. Mountain Time, now that's the one that nobody cares about. Honestly, that's the one
There's
that
nothing
you
there.
you never get recognized. So if you're in Mountain Time, I feel you not getting recognized there. I'm going to be in Mountain Time at the end of the month too, so I'll be feeling that. So Disney 100 kicks off Friday, September 9th at 10:30 Pacific with what they call an epic presentation that includes the Disney's Legends Award ceremony. That's a mouthful. Featuring non-Disney legend CEO Bob Chapek. That's funny that they put that on the official site. I'm just kidding, they didn't. The Disney's Legend ceremony will once again honor the visionaries and artists that have made significant contributions to the Disney legacy. Look for the names of the 2022 inductees to be announced in the coming weeks. Oh, we can even break that down on an episode sometime because some of them are real loose Disney that we will talk about. What some alumni are like Harrison Ford, I believe, right? Like Angela Lansbury, I think, Jodie Foster, Jodie Benson. I mean, I feel like they're all Disney legends. I could probably look up a list, but I feel pretty safe. At 3:30 Pacific, guests will be treated to new details, first looks, sneak peeks, surprises, and special announcements regarding upcoming theatrical and Disney Plus titles from Disney Live Action, Pixar Studios, Walt Disney Animation Studios. Studio heads, filmmakers, and cast members will come together on stage with the inside scoop on some of these studios' most exciting titles. So there you go. That is day one. So it seems like, I'm not sure how they did it last year. I think last year, or 2020 when we covered this, I believe it was, or 2019 when I last covered this on here, I think. There was like, 1 day of parks, 1 day of movies, and 1 day of like Disney Plus or something. So it seems like they're doing it a little
It's a little
differently.
different.
Yeah, it
It's
looks like
slightly
Disney is pretty much Friday. Disney is Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And then Saturday, September 10th, we're looking at Marvel Studios and Lucasfilm at 10 a.m. Pacific to showcase their theatrical and Disney Plus titles. And they'll be going behind the scenes of the studio's highly anticipated films, specials, and series. Attendees will see exclusive footage and be among the first to learn what else is in the works. Then at 3:30, Disney branded television, including Doc McStuffins, The Owl House, High School Musical, Descendants, will present exclusive showcase of upcoming content that will continue the legacy of excellence in storytelling. Never before seen sneak previews of original content for Disney Plus, Disney Channel, Disney Junior, including the looks at the new Disney Plus original series, National Treasure, American Born Chinese, and The Santa Claus. Santa Claus just wrapped filming too, actually.
I'm going to be honest. I didn't know about National Treasure or Santa Claus.
Yeah, National Treasure is no Nick Cage.
Well, that kind of made National Treasure what it is.
It's a series instead of a movie. I think they are still trying to work on Nick Cage for a National Treasure 3. So I'm guessing if
Interesting.
they do, it'll somehow tie in to the show. I don't really know. But those are my expectations. I'm expecting pretty much just the focuses on those 3 shows and then maybe some minor announcements. I feel like if it was anything, maybe some major announcements. I don't know. I find it hard to get like what would be like something that would get somebody. And I'm asking you this, Jack. What would be like something on Disney branded television as a big announcement that would get people like flipping out, like if a Marvel or Star Wars thing was announced? Like I just don't see much other than these 3 things, like specifically National Treasure and the Santa Claus, which are pretty cult classics of Disney.
Yeah, I can't really think of many things there. I mean, yeah, I mean, the only thing that I could think of that would get a lot of people that I know excited is if they like announced a Gravity Falls reboot. If they did that I know like all of my friends would be excited for. I'd be excited for it. Like
Well,
that.
I would not be excited for that. I mean, I
What?
do like Gravity Falls. I just feel like I feel like it did end the way the creator wanted to. I feel like
I think it did, but I know it would get people excited still. It still would.
Yeah. I could see, you know what? I think something that could get people excited is a Phineas and Ferb thing.
And well, Dan Povenmire already has a new show that he's working on, so
Oh, is he?
yeah, it's
For Disney
what
or
is
for
it?
somewhere else?
For I think it's for Disney. I think it's called Hamster and Gretel.
Oh, so we could get info on that.
I'm pretty sure it's like let me look it up because I'm pretty sure.
Here's what I want. I want another season of Milo Murphy's Law, and I want it now. That's what I want.
That was a pretty good show, and the Hamster and Gretel show premieres summer 2022. So
it would already have aired. So
yeah,
maybe
exactly.
we could get an announcement of a second season or something if that's popular.
Maybe. I mean, I love Dan Povenmire's animation style. So
Yeah. Hey, I wonder if it'll take place in the same world as Phineas and Ferb, like Milo did. They had a whole crossover.
That's right.
That could be a way for them to wrap up Milo, since they didn't get a chance to do that. September 11th, Sunday at 10:30 a.m. Pacific. Join Disney Parks and Experience Products Chairman Josh D'Armo for a look at Disney's boundless future, with announcements and updates on the magic happening around the world in parks, on the high seas, at home and beyond. What does that even mean? At home.
I think maybe Anaheim.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
Because at like theme
Attendees-
park experiences, the Anaheim Convention Center is across the street from Disneyland. So
Attendees will get a behind-the-scenes look at the big dreams of Disney's Imagineers. Every Disney fan will want to be a part of this special presentation full of exciting news and surprises. At 4:15 p.m., Disney Concerts will present a special performance of Disney Princess the Concert. Huh. Trying to figure out. Oh, Annalise Vanderpool from That's So Raven will be in that musical concert. Huh. They will share exclusive, hilarious, and heartfelt behind-the-scenes stories from their time on stage and screen. I had a friend go to D23 a few years ago, actually. I was kind of jealous of him. But this is what they're doing instead of like Comic-Con now. Everybody's having their own thing.
right.
The same way that like everybody originally had deals with Netflix and now they made their own service. It's like everybody had deals with Comic-Con and then like Warner Brothers is doing their own thing, like Disney's doing their own thing. Everybody's kind of same thing with like E3. Like everybody used to do E3 and now it's like this everybody has their own thing for that too, for video games. So what's your biggest hope for any of these panels that you want to see announced? It could be from the Marvel Lucasfilm. It could be from Disney branded. It could be a Disney Parks thing. What are you looking forward to? I doubt there's any park expansion because of COVID still.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting that one to be really dry, not a lot of news.
Yeah. I mean, for the two that I care the most about, I'd say, because like the Disney live action stuff, I have faith that whatever they have will be good, because it's almost always good. You know, Disney live action and Disney animated stuff, Pixar, it's going to be good no matter what it is. So I'm fine with that. But for Marvel and Lucasfilm, I think from Marvel, what I'd most want to see is more information on this Thunderbolt series, if they have, or not series, movie.
Yeah.
That would be great to get like some more information on that. Maybe get like, I don't know, a sneak preview at like an Ant-Man trailer, maybe, or a Black Panther trailer. You know, I think that would be good. That would be a good time to do it, and it kind of lines up for when they've started doing trailers for other movies now. So I think that in terms of like new projects announced, I'm not. I mean, I want confirmation of Daredevil, a Daredevil series. I want confirmation of it and like some more information about it. That would be great. That's like the one big thing from that. And then from Lucasfilm, I mean, we talked about this before the show. Star Wars Battlefront 2 on the Nintendo Switch. That belongs there, right? Like that's.
Oh yeah,
I
that'd
wish.
be right announced in the Lucasfilm panel.
Yeah. I wish in my dreams, you know. But I think more realistically from that, you know, getting some more details on like the Ahsoka series, maybe. I don't know. I don't know what else. Maybe like depending on how the Obi-Wan Kenobi series wraps up, maybe a season 2. We'll see if there's space for that after those next 2 episodes as that wraps it up. But we'll see. But then for the park stuff, I kind of hope they just say something more about like Avengers Campus type stuff. You know, I want them to. I want to know about the Quinjet. I want to know about the Quinjet ride. I want to know more about
official
that.
confirmation that they're like doing that still would be nice.
Yeah, something like that. Or, you know, actually, yeah, it would be fine if they did it then. Spaceship Earth rework, because I know they were planning on doing it, and as much as I love it, it's one of my favorite rides in Disney World. It needs a little bit of it. It could use a fresh coat of paint or 2 or 3. It could use a little bit of work on it, but I think that's like the main thing from that. Maybe, and this would be the wildest thing if they announced a new World Showcase country. I feel like there's absolutely no chance that they do that, but if they did, man, that would be awesome.
Yeah, realistic expectation for me, I think, for Star Wars would be, okay, for Lucasfilm, is we might get more of an Indiana Jones tease, right?
Oh yeah, that's right. That is Lucasfilm technically.
Yeah, we could get that. At that point, it'll be less than a year until it'd probably be a trailer for people there, but not for us here.
Oh.
I could see that. I think news on the Taika Waititi Star Wars film.
That's right.
Because he just spoke today, actually, during an interview with Screen Rant. He said, "I'm still writing. I'm still coming up with ideas. I just want to make sure that it feels like a Star Wars film." Because I could say, "Oh yeah, we'll just write any old thing and set it in space and then put Star Wars on the front," but it wouldn't be a Star Wars film without certain elements and a certain treatment. So I just got to make sure that it stays within that wheelhouse. Kathleen Kennedy said at Celebration this was the next film. It's scheduled for end of 2023, which means they would have to start filming by end of 2022. So I would say maybe a title or a firm date on that film would be nice. And I think, yeah, you could get an announcement of Obi-Wan season 2 or a separate series focused on Obi-Wan that is a little different. Or there's rumors of a Reva spinoff. You
That
could
could be
have
good.
that announced. Lucasfilm's been kind of playing it close to the chest lately with theatrical stuff, and I understand why, because they usually announce everything and then it all falls through. So I want them to keep being that way. Like, do not announce all these things just to give us the announcement and then have it fall through. I do think Thunderbolts movie would be officially announced here, and I do think maybe a new director for Fantastic Four.
That'd be a good
I feel like
announcement.
this could be, if they skip, if Marvel skips Comic-Con, which I think they are. If they do, I think this could be where we get like a Phase 5 or rest of Phase 4 layout, because we almost have everything that's been announced. So I could see more stuff being announced for that. I don't really want to speculate what those could be, but that's kind of my guidepost, I guess, on what I expect. Parks, I'm not expecting much at all. Maybe a Tron date. I don't think we have that yet.
No, I don't think we have an official one. I feel like I remember hearing that maybe it was more of a rumor that they're trying to do like early 2023, late 2022, but
It's crazy how
we'll
long
see.
that's taken.
I know.
By the way, too, Disney Plus Day from last November, has been moved up to September 8th, and it's going to lead into D23. So we might actually get some of these announcements for Disney Plus shows, Star Wars and Marvel, announced that day, and then they might follow up with information on that during their panels. Yeah, so I'm excited for all those. We're going to have a lot of content to cover in September for everyone here, but we will cover all of D23. I'm thinking we might have to split it up episodes like per day. Like, I'm not sure if we record them per day, but what I'm saying is like an episode on Friday's news, an episode on Saturday's news, episode on Sunday's news, because otherwise it's going to be just one long episode. That could be a little hard for people to sit and listen to, I think. Okay, so we are going to talk about Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. We're going to try to keep it generally spoiler free, I think.
Okay.
We can mention, if you don't even want to know about the cameos, skip like 10 minutes into this video or 10 minutes into the podcast, because we'll probably talk that. But I think we'll stay away from a lot of the actual plot twists, stuff like that, but just vibes with it, how we thought about it, and stuff like that. So I'll let you go first, Jack, since you were the first one to watch it.
Yeah, well, I watched it on a plane actually. I downloaded it to my phone and watched it on the way to a vacation, which was very nice. It's great. It's fantastic. It's one of my favorite Disney animated movies. I think I can confidently say that. That's how good it is. It feels like, the Roger Rabbit movie from late 80s, early 90s. And that's awesome. It combines like a ton of different media together and makes jokes about the type of media, about like cliches in media. It knows what it wants to be. It doesn't want to be like this movie that takes itself seriously. And it doesn't. It's lighthearted and it's fun. Andy Samberg and John Mulaney do a great job voicing Dale and Chip respectively. That feels weird to say it in that order, I'm not gonna lie. But and I feel like it adds like an interesting texture to Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, the show in general, if you think about it like this, even though it's obviously, not necessarily realistic, but to that, but it's still very funny to think about it like that. And the cameos, oh man, they're great. They're great. Ugly Sonic, fantastic choice. I thought it was hilarious, and how they reference like the human teeth that people hated about it, all that kind of stuff. I loved like at the convention of like all the forgotten characters, I guess you could kind of say, with them talking about Baloo, like, oh, he thinks he's so big now that you got the live action Jungle Book movie, and like I love all of that. It feels that the director knew what he was doing. Akiva Schaffer knew what he was doing with this, and it feels like one big long nostalgia trip with, it maybe the story feels a little basic at times, but that's not bad. It's not bad because it feels like that's kind of the point. It feels, everything feels purposeful in this movie. That's the coolest part about it. It knows what it wants to be and it succeeds in that vision.
Yeah, I think one thing that kind of just, when you talk about the plot being a little thin, right, is that's fine. This is a family movie. Not everything has to be like Shakespeare, some sort of Christopher Nolan deep plot, right? Like the plot is, for people that don't know, characters are getting stolen, kidnapped, and getting their futures changed to be bootlegged. Which like the bootleg movies you find in Walmart. That's like Snow White and the Dwarfs instead of the Seven Dwarfs or whatever. Like that don't have the happy sneezy names, right? They're just here's Dwarf 1, Dwarf 2. So it's kind of like those films, and or what was the one for Frozen? I remember back in the day with Frozen, it was like the Snow Queen, right? Is the one people made and they even try to use the same font style, even though it's not related at all. It's to try to bait Pinocchio. There's so many Pinocchio movies out there. Obviously Disney didn't create that, but it's where they try to almost style it as that, even though it's not the one. But yeah, so that's kind of the main plot, and I think that's fine. And then the whole thing is about trying to get somebody back from that, and to what's the word I'm looking for, to solve the mystery. It's kind of just like a mystery solving thing. So that's a lot of fun. Yes, the cameos. I there was rumors that instead of Ugly Sonic, it was going to be Jar Jar. I'm glad they switched it to Ugly Sonic because I feel like the Jar Jar stuff was beaten to a ground back in the early 2000s. So we've moved on from that. Ugly Sonic is cool because, it's not something you expect in a Disney film that's not tied to Sonic at all. We also got E.T. versus Batman, which was fun as well. We got all of Seth Rogen's characters from the different movies he's been in.
That was great. I thought
everything
that was
except
really
Sausage Party.
Well, I think there's good reason for that.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. There was South Park characters in this movie,
and Beavis and Butthead, but I feel
Beavis and Butthead.
I feel like that Sausage Party is a little bit above that. Maybe just a little bit above that. But also, speaking about those background things, Fast and the Furious Babies.
Yes, yeah.
That's great. And also Dobby in a Gucci ad.
Yes, that's right.
Very good stuff. I'm glad that's what he chose to use. He was freed, and he decided to become a model. Like, good for him,
Yeah, there was just a lot of good stuff there. It's not just cameos too. There's really good jokes in this. I like that they have the CGI surgery thing as almost like a plastic surgery. It's stuff like that I laughed so hard when Chip said, what was he watching, Alvin and the Chipmunks or whatever, and they're rapping. Yep. And he said, oh, they always have to make them rap. And I laughed because that's kind of been a trend with, the Scooby-Doo film,
True.
Not Chip and Dale, but the other ones.
Well, they did make them rap in this one, didn't they?
Yeah, he did. They did at the end, which I love that it came back though. That's something that
it feels like
there was been a joke.
right. There were very few like throwaway lines, you know.
We even got
Like-
Muppets in this. We had like the
Mhm.
Muppet guy, the cheese guy.
Yeah.
We got my favorite part though. One of my favorite parts is the rap. Okay, this. I am Dale and I don't eat whale.
Yep.
Why would you think I eat whale? I would never eat whale. Once you start rhyming with whale, you can't stop. I love that part. And then I love when Chip has to sing and he's like, and I don't eat whale. And he's like, now I'm doing it. He's just like getting caught up into it.
Oh,
One of
I
my
I
favorites.
almost forgot about my favorite thing.
hmm
Aunt Man.
Oh, yes. Paul
Oh,
Rudd
man.
is Ant-Man. And for people that haven't listened to the Infinity Saga and Beyond, where I've had Jack on a lot, he's a big Ant-Man fan. So I texted him after I saw this and I said, you even got Ant-Man in this thing. Like that
Yeah.
is you got everything
It's a
you
big
want.
year for Ant-Man fans, I've got to say.
Yes.
It's a
yeah.
big year.
Even got a little bit of Ant-Man and Miss Marvel,
Yeah.
episode 1.
He's
So
everywhere.
overall, I really enjoyed it. I saw a lot of people complaining that they didn't have the chipmunk voices. I don't think this movie hits the same if they did that the whole time. I really don't. I think Mulaney and Sandberg are, it's funny getting Mulaney doing something like this after Into the Spider-Verse, where it felt like he was more the Dale-ish character with Spider-Ham.
Mhm.
And then how, this one, he's more of the mature character to Andy Samberg's
I
Dale.
think that works between the two of them. I think that
Yes,
works.
yeah. I
Andy
think so, too.
Samberg playing the mature character just wouldn't have worked the same. Just wouldn't have.
No, it wouldn't. I like that though. If anybody wants more of this style, but you're kind of not worried about language and stuff, Andy Samberg and his Lonely Island crew have done a Netflix special called The Unauthorized Story of the Bash Brothers, with Mark McGuire and Jose Canseco, baseball players. And I still listen to that soundtrack all the time. It was in 2019, and I definitely recommend it. It's got, like, seriously, some of the songs kind of remind me of the Dale song in this one, the Dale with the Whale. That I can see the influence from. If you listen to any Lonely Island song, you can kind of hear the same style in the Dale rap. So I would recommend that. But overall, really great movie.
I looked up the cameos and references again because I almost forgot about one that I really had to hold in my laughter on the plane a little bit. when they were when they were showing some of the bootlegs, Pooj the Fat Honey Bear.
Yes.
I don't know why, but I saw that and I almost lost it on the plane. It was too good. It was a great joke, and the exaggerated features of well, not Pooh anymore, Pooj. Great. Great stuff.
What I do really like too is, I don't know whose idea it was, right? But they even got Kingdom Hearts in this thing. You see the Keyblade in the room, and Sora's hair is in the bootleg room too. Like, that kind of stuff was surprising to me. I didn't expect to see that there, so that was fun. And what's funny is my friend Matt. I was telling him that I really enjoyed it. He said he didn't think it looked good from the trailers, but I said it's kind of like a successor to Roger Rabbit, and he said, I've never seen that. I was like, what? How have you never seen Roger Rabbit?
No. Man, I've even seen it.
And you were like negative 32 when that came out.
not quite that young. It came out in what, 89, right? Or 80?
I think so.
Yeah, because they put the dip machine in Hollywood studios like almost right after it opened. So negative 11 years.
Yeah. All right, so we'll go ahead. I think I said 10 minutes. It's been about that, so I think we can kind of move on to the main topic today. So we are going to be sharing our dream Disney vacation. Money's no object in this, so just act like you won the lottery, and we won the lottery as well, and that's how we're affording all this. And we'll start with
That's the only way that this could be
we'll
afforded.
start with Jack. I don't know if you have any more stipulations or anything that you want to share or how you broke it down.
So I did it with like not thinking about money, right? But also like not being completely unrealistic. Like, oh, I'm going to stay in the Cinderella Castle suite every night. Like, no, not happening. That just doesn't work like that. I was kind of realistic. It's technically an attainable vacation, but you'd have to save up quite a bit of money to get to it. So with that being said, here's what I've got. And if it takes me a while to read through my own handwriting, I wrote this while proctoring an exam this morning at 7 a.m. So be aware of that when I'm going through this. But let me start with the time frame that I'm going in, because it's important. It's during the Food and Wine Festival at Epcot. Anytime during that's a key part of this. And this is also like 5/maybe 6 days. The 6th day is like a departure day. So 5 days in parks though. So that now that we got the time frame, we have to think like, okay, where would I stay? And you might remember from the first episode that I went on here with, my favorite hotel is the Contemporary, which may be a little basic, but I really like it. I love the shape of the hotel, and the dining there is good. I love the new Incredibles themed rooms based off of how they look. I really like it. I feel like it fits with the theme, which can't really say that with every single resort that's doing a retheme to a character, but it works for this one. And the reason why, it's monorail access. I love the monorail as well. And it's close to Magic Kingdom and Epcot. And I feel like it's kind of all the monorail hotels, I think it's the best one for me, at least, because, I want to be near like Magic Kingdom, but also it's one stop away to get to the Epcot monorail instead of having to be at like Polynesian and either walk to the Ticket and Transportation Center or go all the way around once. So I think that's why I would pick that one. And also I love the Contemporary, especially like Bay Lake Tower would be even more ideal, but I've only stayed at like the Contemporary proper once in like those garden room suites, because our flight got canceled because of a massive snowstorm that got Minnesota down to like negative 30, 35 degrees. So no flights were leaving. So got to stay in Disney for 3 extra days there. So kind of good memories about the Contemporary.
Yeah.
And then again, I said the only constraint I'm thinking about is like time and not necessarily money. And I considered doing like a park hopper thing, but when I went through it, I was like, actually, don't really need it. I've planned it out so I don't need park hopper. So, maybe saving a little bit of money on this, just a slight amount. And also no driving, no renting a car or anything, because I hate driving and this is vacation. So there we go. So
I'm the opposite. I like to have a car when I'm down there.
Oh, I can't.
I don't like to go by the transportation because it can take so long. I can just get there faster.
I love public transportation though. I love it. It's so
not
fun.
really public though. It's Disney transportation.
It's technically
It's a little
public. It's
different.
accessible. It's accessible to everyone on Disney property.
Yeah,
So kind of
but it's-
public.
I guess it's not great transportation. The monorail's fine, but like the
monorail's
bus
good.
system can suck at times. So
Sometimes, but
I like
I-
having
I prefer to driving.
like if I need to get somewhere for opening or way before opening, I will drive. Like when I went to Star Wars weekends, when I lived down there,
Mhm.
I was so happy I had a car because I was able to get there like so much earlier than if I had if I went by the bus system. So I was able to get there super early, get in there, no problem, compared to like having to wait for the buses.
I always go with the buses. I like them a lot. they have their negatives, sure, but I like them. And if it's a vacation, I'm 100% not driving anywhere. I refuse. So there's that. So day one, arrival. Obviously, arrive like early morning, like around 8 a.m. I'll wake up early for a flight. I'll just sleep more the night before going. So arrive early morning and take the shuttle. We're now no longer free and no longer Disney's Magical Express, but take that anyway to avoid driving once again. And drop bags off at the resort because the rooms are never ready that early. I know from experience. They might tell you they'll try and get it ready. It won't be ready, which is fine because you can just drop the bags off there. And then I'm going to try and be in the first park of this, which is Magic Kingdom, by 10 o'clock a.m. I think that's good enough to get to a lot of rides that you want to get to, but without being super early. And I'm already arriving there pretty early given the plane. So the first thing I do when I'm in there is I start at Adventureland because that's where the best rides in Magic Kingdom are, because you got Jungle Cruise and Pirates of the Caribbean right there. So those are the first two rides I'm doing, Pirates and Jungle Cruise, because they're the best two rides. Then go on to Frontierland and just do Big Thunder Mountain because I don't like Splash Mountain because I don't like getting soaked. So there's that.
Oh, you don't like Splash Mountain?
No, I don't.
You don't
I'm
even
not a
get
huge
that
fan.
soaked on it.
See, here's the thing. That's
Go
what
ride
happened.
Dudley Do Right. Hold on. Go ride Dudley Do Right in Universal, and then go ride Splash, and tell me which one you get more soaked on.
But see, here's the thing. Every time I go there, like when I was a little bit younger, my parents would be like, "Yeah, you don't get that wet on it. It's fine. You'll be fine." And then every time we would come off, and I would be like absolutely drenched, and everyone else in my family would be like
You're
dry.
not picking the right seat.
I changed it every time, and it seemed like the water was just attracted to me. I don't know. It didn't work out. And plus, who knows? Splash Mountain, maybe it'll be different probably by the time I would have enough money to do this vacation. So
It won't be Splash Mountain anymore. It'll
it
be whatever
definitely
they
won't.
call it.
Yeah. And then from Frontierland, go to Liberty Square and do Hall of Presidents and Haunted Mansion. Those two are both great. And then stop like for a late-ish lunch, 1:30 or 2 at Cosmic Rays. Obviously, if I'm eating a quick service restaurant at Magic Kingdom, it's going to be at Cosmic Rays. So I'm going to go there, and then we're going to go through Tomorrowland, doing Space Mountain, getting the Lightning Lane for that because I don't want to wait like an hour and a half for it. Do Buzz Lightyear, do the People Mover and the Carousel of Progress. And then after Tomorrowland, we dip down into Main Street for a second because get that ice cream on Main Street, get one of those cookie sundaes, which are fantastic. Eat that and then go to Fantasyland and do Seven Dwarfs and get a Lightning Lane if the wait time is greater than 60 minutes. Was very specific with that one. Not specific for anything else in terms of wait times, but only for that. Also going to do the Little Mermaid ride, Teacups, Winnie the Pooh, the Carousel, and PhilharMagic to cap that off. And then going to go to a reservation for dinner at Jungle Cruise Skipper Canteen around like 7:30 or 8-ish. So then when I'm getting out of that, I can watch the fireworks. And then walk back to Contemporary because the monorail is going to be awful to try and get on at that point in time. So, and it's like an 8-minute walk over there, so not too bad. And then sleep before day 2, which is Animal Kingdom, your favorite, So I'm doing every park. I'm not skipping out.
You better not.
So, gonna try and get to Animal Kingdom by like. I think they open at around 9 for Animal Kingdom most days. So around 9:15. And then the first thing I do when I get there is heading straight to Flight of Passage because it's going to be awful if you're not there right away. I'm fine with waiting like, an hour for that early in the day. but I'm not going to be waiting like 2.5 hours for it, So we're going to do that. And then we're going to go to Africa for Kilimanjaro safaris and Festival of the Lion King. And we're going to eat lunch in that market in the Africa Pavilion, like the little market that I think it's called Harambe Market, actually.
Mhm.
But they've got a lot of good options there, and I think it looks good over there. So
I think that was added while I was there.
yeah, I know, and I
Like an
haven't.
employee test there.
Oh, okay. I actually
like
haven't
a
eaten there.
test, like try out the food or whatever.
Yeah, I haven't eaten there technically, but the food does look really good there. And honestly, the quick service options at Animal Kingdom sometimes leave something to be desired. Sometimes
Wrong. Restaurant is all you need.
I could do that. I could do that, but
Pizza Fari is okay, but Resto
I don't know,
is where it's at.
that I already know that's on your itinerary for whatever day you go to Animal Kingdom. That's probably breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Definitely lunch and dinner.
Well, it's not for mine, but I'm going to go to Expedition Everest after lunch and ride it at least twice. I have in my notes here, at least twice.
Is that a good idea to go right after lunch?
It'll be fine. You wait in the normal line first, so you can let it settle, and then you go in the single rider line a few times.
Yes,
and get a few more in, and then your favorite part. I'm going to go to Dinoland, and I'm going to ride Dinosaur, and then going to get ice cream at that place near Restaurantosaurus. So that's a good place to get ice cream. That I'll always go there. But
it's a really good spot to get ice cream?
In
Gotten
Animal
it by
Kingdom.
Dinoland. But the one by Cali, the truck.
Oh yeah,
got really good vanilla soft serve.
Okay. I'm still gonna go to the Dinoland one.
You can, but you have all the money in the world. Then go
True.
back to Cali and get the other one.
Yeah, and if I'm going near that, I'm skipping Cali River Rapids as we discussed on our tier list, where we rated as an F for for an actually detrimental experience. I stand by that, by the way. I stand by it 100%.
Me too.
And then I'm gonna do Rafiki's Planet Watch because I didn't used to do that a ton, but once I went there, I'm like, this is kind of a nice, relaxing place to just be because it's never that busy.
They have the drawing thing there now too.
I know. And now that gives me more incentive to want to go there. So, gonna go to the Planet Watch, and then we're gonna head back to the main part of Animal Kingdom and go to Animal Kingdom's best restaurant for dinner, which is the Tusker House. I like the Tusker House. So I'm gonna go there. I debated like leaving the park and going to Boma at Animal Kingdom Lodge, which is also fantastic. But Tusker House has a lot of similar food to them, and then you don't have to leave the park. It's a little bit more convenient. And then be out of the park by like 7:30. Have an earlier night because gonna need it. Because the next day is Epcot, and gotta wake up early to get in the virtual queue for the Cosmic Rewind, obviously.
Yes,
because that's going to be necessary. Because isn't the first one at like 7 a.m. that the virtual queue?
I think so, something like that.
Yeah, so you've got to be up by at least 7 to get into that. But then you can take the monorail over there and be there for opening. And the first ride I'm gonna do the best ride, Spaceship Earth. Spaceship Earth is the first ride at Epcot. It's the best one, and it's the first one there. That correlates. First ride, best ride. So I'm gonna go on that, and then after that, I'm gonna go to the vastly improved Test Track from the original. I stand by that as well. It's been improved.
Vastly disproved.
No, I think because it's fun, and I actually put on there. I'm gonna go on it twice. The first time I'm gonna go through the actual queue, design the car, and then go.
The second time is so I don't have to.
the single rider line after though, because then you'll still have the car on a Magic Band, right? So you'll still have the same car, and there you go. That's the way, as the Mandalorians would say. Then we're going to go to Space 220 Lounge for lunch because it looks really good there, and the theming looks incredible, and so that's reason enough to go there. And I put very intentionally on here, skip Mission Space. Don't know what that's about. I wonder why that's there. I think that was also an F on the tier list for actually detrimental experience. So yep, there it is. There it is. So that's definitely that's gonna be skipped. And then after that, gonna go to the land and let dinner or let lunch settle, see that movie, go on Living with the Land, and then do Soarin' after both of those. And then, as much as they're not really like my thing, go on Figment and Nemo, because they're still pretty good rides. I enjoy them enough. And then on the way out, we're gonna go to Spaceship Earth. We're gonna go to Spaceship Earth one more time and to have like an earlier day out of there. And Cosmic Rewind is just going to be fit in wherever the lightning lane or the virtual queue, wherever that gets put in. Can't really plan that out, but it's in there somewhere. And then I'm gonna go to the hotel pool and relax for a little bit. Gotta have a little bit of time to relax at Disney, and then gonna go to Ohana for dinner because man, that dinner is great. The family style options, they've got dumplings, they have really good chicken, steak, and pork, and it is so good. And every time I've been there, I eat so much. And I slightly regret it, but don't really regret it because it's great food. So that's day 3. So halfway done, but I'm actually 2/3 of the way done with paper because these other ones were a lot easier to get through.
Wow.
So day 4 is Hollywood Studios. I'm gonna go to Hollywood Studios, wake up early and eat breakfast at the hotel. You've got to go to one of those quick service breakfast places. Get like the American breakfast platter that they have with the eggs that are kind of good, but also kind of not sometimes, some Mickey waffles.
What's funny is growing up, we didn't really go to breakfast a lot. Like we would go to like some of sit downs, but like,
yeah,
we'd do that like once on a trip. And the rest of the trip would either be at like the All-Star food court, right? Because we stayed at All-Star a lot when I was growing up. Or we would have stopped at Walmart and grabbed Pop-Tarts and donuts. And that would be our breakfast before we leave. We'd be like, slam that down. Let's go.
In like the convenience stores that most like hotels have.
Yes.
They would have like those Entenmann's Donuts variety packs.
Yes, Entenmann's. I love those.
Yeah, and we'd get one of those, and that would be breakfast for like the next day.
We'd get some of those too, but we'd always get them at Walmart where they were cheaper.
Yeah, that's probably a better idea. But remember, I don't have a car, so
yeah, that's true. We always drove. We would drive from Maryland down. So
yeah, see, we made the drive from Minnesota to Orlando once when I was 7, and my youngest sibling was 2. It took us like it took like 2.5 days to get down there.
Really?
It took a long time. It's a 24-hour long drive. And then take into account 3 young kids in the backseat.
Yeah. Ours is 14 hours. So
that's okay. That you can do that in like a day. You can do that in a day.
Yeah. We would usually leave at like, evening, like 7 PM. And then we'd get there around 7 a.m. and drop our stuff off, have our stuff in the van or like the truck. And then we'd get up Springs or go get some lunch or like breakfast at like a Disney or something. Like, we used to go to Red Lobster a lot outside. The one that's gone now, like the one that was by, kind of like near Crossroads, I guess. If that's still there, it's like right outside of Disney, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but no, I'm not. I don't think I would drive there on my like my own terms. It wouldn't be my choice to drive there again. But yeah, wake up early-ish and have breakfast at the hotel, and then rope drop Hollywood Studios. And it depends. If Galaxy's Edge opens like right with Hollywood Studios, which I'm not sure if it does, then if it does, then go straight to Rise of the Resistance. If it doesn't, go to Runaway Railway and rope drop that, and then go over to Galaxy's Edge to get into Rise of the Resistance before the line gets too long. And then do Smuggler's Run, but make sure I get the pilot seat. That's an important caveat to that. It has to be. If you're the Shield person on that, you feel useless. I'm sorry. It doesn't. It's not the same level of immersion. And then I have ride Star Tours at least 3 times and do the Indiana Jones stunt show. I think that's reasonable. And then eat at the Backlot Express, which is my favorite quick service at Hollywood Studios. Then we go to Toy Story Land, do everything there, and maybe for good measure, Toy Story Mania twice, because that's always fun, and I'm very competitive in that game. And then do Rock and Roller Coaster and Tower of Terror to end it off. And then do a dining package for Fantasmic, although as I was doing that, I couldn't think of like sit-down restaurants at Hollywood Studios. I'd probably do the Brown Derby, the Hollywood Brown Derby. I think that's probably the one I would pick out of all of them. But I know I'm definitely not doing 50s Primetime Cafe. I can't. I do not want to be made fun of while I eat my dinner. So that's going to be a no from me on that. So going to do that and then go see Fantasmic and leave after that. And for the last day in the parks, I have written down Epcot Part 2 Electric Boogaloo because it's time for World Showcase. And that's why I wanted it to be during Food and Wine Festival, because that second day at Epcot is just World Showcase. You know, I'm gonna hit up every because this is where the most of the money is gonna go to, eating around the world, and actually like eating at most countries. You know, trying the food there, and because you know the food's expensive at those places, so I feel like that's where the majority of the budget goes to, and then just explore World Showcase, eat at all those festival carts, go on Three Caballeros, of course. Go on the American Adventure, Impressions de France, O Canada. Go on Ratatouille if there's time, and if it's not like a 3-hour wait. And then the last thing I'm gonna do before I leave that day is ride Spaceship Earth as the very last ride of this trip. It's got to be the best ride. Has to be the last ride, you know. So gonna do that. So that'll be 3 times on Spaceship Earth, which I think is a healthy amount for one trip. And then the last day departure, and then it's going to be like a later afternoon flight, maybe early evening, but then go to Disney Springs and spend time there and eat lunch at the Boathouse because I really enjoyed it the last time we were there, and it's a pretty nice restaurant. So there we go. That's the end of the trip there. 3 pages that I wrote out.
Nice. I'm winging it. So let's.
All right.
I'm not going to be as in depth as you.
Yeah,
I will say places
I had nothing but time while I was proctoring that test. I'll tell you.
I will mention places I want to eat and stuff. But so let's kick it off with my trip would be about probably 7 days.
Okay.
And the first part, I'm going to land in Florida. I'm going to go to Disney Springs first. Going to shop around. Then I'm going to check in at my hotel, which is the Galactic Star Cruiser. There we go. So we're going to start off with Galactic Star Cruiser. Okay. That's why it's a longer trip. So I'll have 2 days there. Then after Star Cruiser, I'm going to hit up my normal hotel, which will be the Grand Floridian.
Very good choice.
Never stayed there. My parents have. I have not.
It's a very nice place. I think I've stayed there twice. I think. Yeah. One of them was literally my first trip there, so I have no recollection of what that hotel is like then, but yeah.
So we'll stay there, and the next day would be Magic Kingdom, because that's how I usually like to start off my trips, is to hit up Magic Kingdom. And I'm treating this part as a separate trip as the first part with the Galactic Star Cruise. There you're so bound by what you can do that Doesn't really
They're-
count.
Yeah, they're two different vacations. That's fair.
It's like taking a Disney cruise and then going to the parks, right? So that's what
Right.
I would do. So then I start off in Magic Kingdom. Of course, I'm going to hit up Cosmic Rays. I'm going to ride all the rides I want. But guess what? Even though I'm rich in this scenario, no Genie Plus. Screw yourself, Chapek. I'm not doing it. I have principles.
That's fair. I respect it.
So no Genie Plus. If the line is 3 hours, I have to wait 3 hours. Or in this scenario, maybe I buy out the park. I don't know. There's some questions here, right?
I mean, hey, if you won if we're treating this as like you won the lottery, then
I
yeah,
could
I
rent
guess
out the park for a
you
day.
definitely could. Yeah, you definitely could.
So I can ride, or it's like, I haven't set a time period for this, so it could even be during the Halloween party where it'd be easier to ride Space Mountain anyway. Boom. But anyway, so I go to Magic Kingdom, Cosmic Rays for lunch. For dinner, I would probably hit up. Well, let's start with breakfast. 1900 Park Fair. That's where I'd have to start off. Character breakfast.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Then we go into the park. I get to ride, my main rides: Pirates, Haunted Mansion, Splash. In this scenario, it's still normal Splash. And then we go to, Space Mountain if I can, right? Big Thunder hurts me nowadays, so I'm probably skipping that.
Man, you're getting old. I don't know.
I am. It's brutal. It's been like that for the last 10 years. I've been like, I don't know if I can ride. Not 10 years, maybe like the last 5 years. I've been like, I don't know if I can ride Big Thunder right now. I also wrote it a lot on my program, so I kind of feel like I can.
You kind of did
skip
it already. You reached your lifetime limit on Big Thunder Mountain.
I
guess,
did.
yeah.
I'll have to probably ride it when I have a kid, but
Reluctantly.
once they're old enough to ride it themselves, I'll be like, go on, young one. So we'll hit up those places. Got to get my sandwich from the ice cream place on Main Street. What else would I do in Magic Kingdom? Probably get a VIP tour. I'll do one of those VIP tours. I've done it before, but I will do it again. Go back to the Utilidor and just look at everybody on the tour and be like, I used to work here. Isn't that cool? Just really show it off, But yes, that would be the main part of day one of the actual Disney trip.
What about food? What about dinner? What are you doing?
Dinner, I'd probably hit up Cosmic Rays again.
Again, okay.
Again, because I'm probably doing all night at Magic.
Oh, okay. Oh,
I'm
I
probably
see.
staying all day. Yeah, I'm probably not leaving
The
and
marathon,
coming back.
I
I'm
see.
probably just gonna hit it up. So then day 2, I think I will go with Hollywood. No, you know what? Because I just did Galaxy's Edge on my Star Cruiser. Okay, so I'm going to Dino Land. Gonna start off
Not
the
even
day.
Animal Kingdom, just Dino.
Well, sorry, yeah, Animal Kingdom. We're gonna start off in Pandora, I think. Right? I'm gonna ride. What's the one? The why am I blanking on it? Navi
Flight of
River, not
Passage?
Navi
Oh,
River. Flight of Passage.
Flight of Passage, yeah.
Gonna do Flight of Passage. I'll do River Journey. Then I'll go over to Dino Land where it's time for Restaurantosaurus for lunch. I'm gonna play some of the games because I'm rich, so why not? I'm gonna throw
Spend
money down the drain.
$200 on it. Spend $200.
Well, it's like $4 a ticket. That's $4 a play. When I worked there, I had to. Sometimes we had like a position that was called ticket cart, and I would have to work the ticket cart, and we'd park it right next to Wacky Packy Cephalosaur, the whack-a-mole game. And I'd sit it there in the shade, and my shift would be me sitting here just waiting for people to come up to me, and they'd be like, how much for a ticket to the game? And I'm like, $4. And they're like, whoa, that is too much. And I'd be like, I don't know what to tell you.
I feel like that's standard for like carnivals, honestly. I feel like that's kind of standard.
I don't know.
At the Minnesota State Fair, that's about how much it's pretty spendy to play some of those games. So
it was expensive. My favorite game to work on though would either be, I loved the basketball game. Because I would just sit there and dribble the ball sometimes. I'd be like, this is what I'm doing. Try to entice people to come over. Or anyone I had a microphone. So I had a microphone at Wacky Packy, and I had a microphone at the Woolly Mammoth Racer.
okay, yeah.
Oh, I also went the squirt game, the squirt gun,
Yep.
fossil fuel. So any of those, I would just start picking out people in the crowd and start trying to talk to them, whatever. They always wanted us to try to push Rafiki's Planet Watch. That's what they wanted us to push. So in my pocket, we have one of those, like, they give out these employees, they give guides, right? And in the guides, it tells you what animals you can see, what characters are met where. So if somebody asks you, you can just refer to it. Or if they want a pretzel, where the pretzel card is, stuff like that. So when I would just pick out random kids and I'd be like, hey, what's your favorite animal? And they'd say, like, a dog, you know? And I'd be like, my favorite is the bearded dragon, you know, where you can meet one of those. Rafiki's Planet Watch. I would always pick the most obscure animal I could, though. And I'd be like, yeah, it's over at Rafiki's. We had Chip and Dale, where you can meet them over there. And 75th birthday or something. And I would ask kids, like, how old are you? And they'd be like 10. I'd be like, you know, I have some friends that are 75 years old. And they'd be like, what? I'd be like, yeah, Chip and Dale. You can meet them at Rafiki's Planet Watch. So those were fun. Having microphones were fun. And I'd always try to make the person on the ticket cart laugh. And I was usually successful with that. But so that was fun. So I would, of course, play some games there, and I would not complain about the price because I'd be rich in this scenario. I'd be like, only $4? I'll take 100 tickets. So yes, I would definitely play some of the games. I'd probably get some of that ice cream that I was talking about near the Cali area. I think it's called like Anandapur Trucking or something like that.
Actually, fun fact about that. So I was in this activity called Future Cities in middle school, where we had to design a city using SimCity, and then we had to make a model of it, and then present our city of the future to like a based off of like a specific thing. Our city in my 8th grade year was named Anandapur. So
nice.
I stole it from Disney, and I marketed. I gave them free advertising because they definitely needed that. They don't have the money to advertise. That's why they needed to do Genie Plus.
Right, yeah. So we would get the ice cream there, skip Cali, like you said, ride Everest, ride Dinosaur. Okay, here's the thing. I'd probably ride Dinosaur. It's like a 10-minute wait all the time. I'd probably ride that like 4 or 5 times that day. Okay. Then we'll go home, back to the Grand Floridian. And you know what? No, we'll go Boma for dinner. I gotta get some of that chocolate bread pudding. Need some of that. So I stopped there. Boma for dinner. Then day 3. So this is day 5 because you have the 2 days at Spring. Day 3 would be Epcot. And we would let's say if it was around Halloween time, then I guess Food and Wine is going on. But I'm not a big Food and Wine guy, so I don't really care. I would definitely want to try hit up Cosmic Rewind. In this scenario, I bought out the park for the first hour of the day, so I'm riding Cosmic Rewind. Okay, no problem.
You really went all in on the on money is no object. You really went all in on it.
Well, it's boring if I'm like, it's a 3-hour wait for Cosmic Rewind today. So why not, right? So okay, I get to ride Cosmic some way or another. I get to ride Frozen. I get to ride Soaring. Those are my main ones. I get to like hold up a sign. Here's what I would spend probably half of my day on, Jack. I would hold up a protest sign in front of Test Track that said, "Bring back the original Test Track."
Man, it's good. I'm telling you.
I will privately fund it with my new millions of dollars.
Man, it's fun to design your own car. It's fun.
Other than that, I mean, I'd probably walk around the world, right? I'd ride Ratatouille, whatever. Lunch would be at Refreshment Port for my chicken nuggets and fries.
Of course, of course.
Dinner, I'll probably head over to. Let's leave the park. We'll eat at. You know what? No, let's stay in the park. I'll eat at the German sit down place.
Oh, okay, okay. Is
I've
that
done that before.
beer garden? Is that it?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll eat there. All right. Day 4.
Day 4. I was
Day
gonna say you
overall.
skipped a whole day. Did you spend
Right,
an
day
entire
4.
day at the test track protest? Is that it?
Yes. It's like bring back John Michael Higgins intro video. So day 4, whatever, we go to Hollywood, wrap it up there, right?
Yeah.
Eating at ABC Commissary, eating at Backlot Express, stuff like that. Then we would go to, I'd just ride whatever I liked there. I mean, it's a really easy park to do. Last day before we leave, hit Springs back up, buy most of my merch then, and then leave. Oh, you know what? And since I'm rich, I hit up Zavi's workshop. I buy some more lightsabers that I like to get.
You buy all of them.
Buy all of them. Mace
Yep.
Windu's, Obi-Wan's, whoever. I'm buying
Cal
them all.
Kestis's new lightsaber, you know?
Yes, yeah. Kanan Jarrus, all of those. I'm getting all of them. They have Ahsoka's like 2 set. They're
Yeah.
more expensive because it's 2 of them. It's crazy.
Hey, and while you're there, you might as well build a droid too.
Yes, my nephews did that, but I'll do it too. Yes, I'll build a
You
droid.
might as well.
So last day I go to Springs again. You know what? I'm rich. I hit up the soccer shop. I buy some jerseys. Eat at Chicken Guy before I leave. And then head back home. I think that's a pretty good trip.
It's pretty good, yeah. I'm not a big fan of the test track protests, I've got to say. I really enjoy designing my own car.
Could you
I'll
imagine?
tell you.
Everybody's at Food and Wine, like buying stuff, and you just see this guy holding up a sign. Next time I go, I'm bringing a sign, and I will take a picture of it in front of the sign with the test track stuff. I'm gonna do it.
I'm looking forward to seeing it.
I'll
But-
post it to the Instagram account. I'll do all that stuff.
And then when I go in August, I will pose next to it with 2 thumbs up. And
Get a sign that says "Keep the new test track."
yeah, it's great. I'm telling you, I don't know. You're given like a you know on The Simpsons the old man yells at cloud thing. I don't know. I'm kind of getting.
Yeah, but I'm not yelling at clouds. I'm yelling at test track.
I don't know. I think they're kind of similar. I think you're scared of technology. I don't know.
I'm not scared now. The car thing's fine, but like it's all neon, like this, like whatever they thought the future was going to be, and it's bullcrap.
Oh no, it's supposed to be like in a computer simulation. That's the whole thing.
This ain't Tron. We're having the Tron light cycle. We don't need this. We need.
But see, they don't test cars like physically like that as much.
The
They
best part
also
was like
test
the ABS brakes, you know, the
they still got
anti-lock
that.
brakes. Yeah, but it was like so different. You had them telling you like, "Oh, now we're doing this." And there's John Michael Higgins, who's a national treasure. He's in Arrested Development, right? He hosts America
Yep.
Says on Game Show Network. People want to watch that, but yeah, it was. I miss those days.
I still like the new test track because I like designing the car. That's it. That's all I care about. I
Mhm.
like designing the car. It's fun and it makes it feel like a video game.
What if they let you design the car, but they bring back all the original stuff?
I mean, that's fine. I just like designing my car. That's what I like. I like being able to design it. It doesn't make any difference really, but it adds competition. And that's
I
fun.
guess. I
Now,
feel like
see,
nobody
what they-
actually cares about it. Like I'll make something and then
I
like
care
I feel like when I ride it, like nobody else is either saved it right or they didn't make. And you see like one car up there, and I'm like, "Where's everybody else's car? Why did nobody else make a car?"
I try and set a record every time. That's what I try and do. I try and set a record.
I'm gonna set a record for protesting at Disney World. That's what
No,
I'm gonna
do you know what they really need to do? They need to bring back interventions in some way or another because that was fun. And
See,
I want the
you
great.
can
I want
just
the great.
make a car in there instead.
But test track is fun with the car creation. I want the Great Piggy Bank adventure back. That's what I want back. See,
No,
if I
thank
had
you.
all this money, in addition, I would fund the Great Piggy Bank Adventure to come back. Personal finance education made fun. That's what I would do. It was
There
a
you
fun
go. There's
time.
my
I think,
Disney including protesting.
including protesting.
The other
That's
side says fire Bob Chapek. The other side says
that okay. I can get
Let-
behind that side of it. I can
Yeah.
get behind that side.
sounds like
I
he's
could
about
also
to have his
get-
contract extended. I read.
That's a bad choice. I think most people would think that, but
Yeah.
not Disney. I think you should have a 3D sign, so like the third side, says "Bring back Maelstrom." I think that's that could be a good one
Mm-hmm.
because I want it back. I didn't appreciate it enough when I was younger, and now it's gone.
Yep. All right. Well, I guess that about wraps it up here. Anything else you want to add before we head out of here?
No, I mean, if actually, I did have an unrelated thing, related to Disney, but unrelated to this.
Mhm.
It's kind of free advertising, so there you go. But there's this YouTube channel called Defunct Land, and they did like a 100-minute long documentary on the history of Disney's Fast Pass system. And I never thought I'd be so engrossed in a video about lines and queuing theory. But it was very good. So I'd recommend it to people if you're interested in that, especially if you've heard us talk about Genie Plus and how much it's awful. That kind of goes into the history of how we got to that point. So I don't know, a little bit of free advertising for that channel, but it's well worth it. It was very good, very entertaining.
There you go. I don't really have anything to add. I'll be covering Miss Marvel on To the Infinity Saga and Beyond. And currently covering Obi-Wan. I had to take a week off, so I have to do 3 and 4 at the same time because of Oscar's surgery. So I have to cover both at the same time. Because we have, for whatever reason, they decided releasing a Star Wars show and a Marvel show on the same day is smart instead of moving one to Friday, one to Wednesday, whatever. So now I'm like really backed up on stuff I need to do. But you can follow the podcast. If you're listening to us, you already know where to follow us, I guess. But BT Disney Podcast on Twitter, Facebook.com/Behind the Dreams Podcast, Instagram at Behind the Dreams Podcast. Our YouTube channel is Behind the Dreams Podcast. You can email us behindthedreamspodcast@gmail.com. Or you can even go to our newly made link tree, linktr.ee/Behind the Dreams for all those links as well. So thank you everyone for listening and have a great rest of your day, and we will talk to you next time.